Hi, everyone. I am live here talking about outreach on LinkedIn. And I haven't gone live in a while, so I'm excited to be here. Why did I jump on live today? I just feel like when it comes to this idea of outreach, it's a super scary term for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't understand what it is and why they should do it. So I just thought I would talk about it. So today I'm going to cover 3 questions. So really, what is outreach on LinkedIn? What does that look like? How do you do that without feeling spammy? And why? Like why is that important? Why am I even on here talking about it? All right, I'm going to go through all of that right now. All right. So first of all, what does it mean to do outreach on LinkedIn? Okay. Well, basically, in my definition, it really just means sending connection invitations to people that you've identified on LinkedIn who might make a client, and sending them a connection invitation, an invitation to connect. So when I talk about outreach, instead of we talk about outbound and inbound, like a lot of us in our businesses are relying on inbound opportunities that come, referrals that come in. And hey, there's this opportunity to do outbound, right? To do outreach and to say basically what I call MYK, okay? Making yourself known. Okay, that's it. MYK, making yourself known to potential clients. That's it. That's literally it. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, that seems like a good idea, right? But the problem is that especially on LinkedIn and basically a lot of platforms, we all get spammed. We get spammed with these outreach messages, which is pitching, telling us, making a lot of assumptions about us, about how people can absolutely help us, and they have no idea who we are. And bots sending messages, automations. And so theoretically, I think most people would say, like, yeah, like let's make ourselves known to other people who could potentially become clients. We would do that in real life, right? We would go to a networking event, and what's the goal of a networking event but just shake hands and make ourselves known, introduce ourselves to other people. But when it comes to doing that on LinkedIn, this weird thing happens where all of a sudden we're concerned that we're going to be spammy, that we're going to basically, it's not permission based, that we have, we're intruding in people's lives, and that they are not going to like us, and that our reputation is going to be potentially, damaged by doing that. But if you want to take the opportunity to make yourself known and introduce yourself to people who could possibly be clients because they meet your certain criteria, right? They're a CMO in a certain industry, in a certain region, for example, who you serve, then the way to do it without being spammy is really, really simple. And this is what you're going to say. You're going to say, hi, and then you're going to write their name, and then you're going to say something personal. I heard you on a podcast. I followed your company for a long time. I see you live in Atlanta. I used to live there too. I love the name of your company. Anything that literally shows that you are paying attention to them as a human being does the trick. It's less important sort of what you say and more important that you say it. The minute that you do copy paste, like, hey, we're both in the same network, or hey, we both know so-and-so, which is okay, I guess. But, the minute you say, do a copy paste where there's no recognition that you actually looked at their profile and have any idea who this person is, that becomes spam. So if you want to do outreach, if you want to introduce yourself to new people, then that is the simplest way to do it. Find people that meet your general criteria, send them a connection invitation. Hi, so-and-so, something personal, would love to connect with you. And what happens is you're meeting them as another human being. You're acknowledging them as a one-to-one message. What do I mean by that? In other words, When you send a copy paste templated invite, that's a one-to-many message. And when you treat people in their inboxes like one-to-many, instead you need to be treating them like one-to-one human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to use one-to-one messaging in the messages. You can use one-to-many marketing messages in the content. But when it comes to inbox and building a personal relationship, the minute that you actually treat people like they're real human beings with individual lives, you're winning the game. The second thing is that when we talk about, some people talk about permission-based marketing or permission-based sales, I should say. When you send an invitation to connect with someone on LinkedIn, they have to accept. Okay, it is permission-based by nature. Okay, sending a connection invitation to somebody is permission-based by nature because they have to accept your invitation. If they don't accept your invitation, then you can't become first connections. You can't message them. They're not going to see your content. Okay. So that's 2. How do you do it? You do it in a non-spammy way, which I just outlined. The third thing is why. And this, I think, is the really, really, really crux of the issue here. A lot of us rely on referrals. We rely on inbound opportunities. But the fact of the matter is that when we market, let's say we do content on LinkedIn, I cannot rely on somebody to share my content with their network. I cannot rely on the algorithm to share my content to new connections or non-first connections, right? I cannot rely on people to refer me. What I can rely on is me introducing myself to new people. And so marketing isn't about visibility. Marketing is nurturing people who are already first connections, who are already in your world, right? So when we look at how people choose to work with us, the first step is visibility. Then they learn about us. Then they kind of get curious. Then they set up a call, or they go to our landing page or sales page, and then they become a client. That will not change for whomever you serve. People have to go through that process in order to hire you. And that first step is visibility. You can market all day, but if you're not expanding the number of connections that you have, you're basically marketing to the same people over and over and over again. What you're going to need is more visibility, more connections. And so why should you do this? Because you need to have more connections to have more clients, and that we cannot rely on marketing. We cannot rely on others in order to grow our businesses. Okay. So I just want to say, I guess, one more thing about outreach on LinkedIn, which is to sort of say, what is it? Outreach, really is about introducing ourselves to new people. There are multiple ways to find people to send connection invitations to. Okay. It can be people who are commenting on our connections content, a lot of times who are already in sort of like a good opportunity because they're connected in some way to another person that we're connected with. It could be search. LinkedIn has an amazing search ability to find people with specific criteria for your client. It could be your email list, people who've downloaded your lead magnets. It could be lots of different ways. Actually, I have a free document that you can download called 10 Ways to Find Quality Leads on LinkedIn. And I'm going to leave the link in the comments here. But this is going to basically show you, when you think about like, okay, well, who should I connect with? There's 10 different ways listed on this. Really, it's like a quick cheat sheet. It's going to really help you understand, oh, wow, okay, yes, I can see the path forward in terms of who I would actually send connection invitations to. Okay. So that's those are my thoughts for today. Outreach on LinkedIn. What is it? It's making yourself known to people. It's introducing yourself to people. Not because you want them, not because you want to pitch them, but because based on certain criteria, you think you can serve them. The second thing is, how do you do it? You do it by sending us a personal invitation, and that's it. Not pitching them, not sending them a copy pasted message. Okay. And why are you going to do it? Because marketing isn't enough. because marketing is for to nurture and to have people learn about what you do who are already connections, who are already in your world. And we need to take responsibility for making sure that we're building more connections, that all of that hard marketing work that we're doing, that more people have their eyes on it so that they can become clients. Okay. So, I'm going to put the link below to this 10 ways to find quality leads. Please download it, enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions. You can always DM me. And I hope that was helpful, and know that you're not alone in sort of wanting to do outreach, but not exactly sure how to do it. And again, if you have other questions, you can always send me a direct message. Okay, ciao.